Anna, what's going on? First in. you might be the only in today. Yeah. What kind of floor is he falling onto though? That's the biggest thing. And how tall is the table? Is it like a kitchen table type of thing, or is it like a coffee table? Because that's the biggest thing. Like with this one right here, you can see him, original vector. He's got actually a couple of little pieces floating around inside him, and until he obviously exhibits the need for me to pull him apart, I'm not going to take him apart until obviously, like his battery or whatever. And then we'll figure out what those pieces are that actually broke off inside, because I don't know if you've seen my prior videos of Vector, but he threw himself off our kitchen counter. I can't tell you how many times onto obviously a hard tile floor. He broke his arms off and it was nuts. I remember the first time seeing it. Carpet, yeah, there you go. So that's fine. Obviously, your coffee table's got a rolled edge, right? Like a curved edge. Because they don't do very good on something that has an edge like that. They prefer a sharp edge. Unless he's got his cube in his hand, and then forget it. All bets are off. He'll just launch himself off. Having him fall on carpet is such a much better thing than what we put ours through. We didn't do it on purpose. It was just one of those things. It has a sharp edge. That's weird. Does he have his cube in his hand when he's launching himself off? Have you seen him do it? Twice with the cube and twice without. Maybe his sensor needs. Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a good thing that you're, at least thinking to have him in an area with his carpet. That way he doesn't really get wiped out. Ah, dang it. From underneath, isn't it? Yep. Did you cycle at Obonic? Yes, actually I did. And I actually ran this with the Ovonics, and this performed. This thing's a battery eater, and when I use the Zop powers, it drains the Zop powers like just way too quick. But this thing got a bunch of runs in before I broke it. So far, I'm okay with the Ovonics for now. We'll see, obviously, on once I get, more parts in, because the whole point of those Ovonic batteries, those 8Ks, was for this thing, because this thing just eats power just like crazy. So these RC cars, are they like motor diesel? No, you don't need, well, no, you don't. No. You'd almost think so, especially on one like this size. So like when you start getting into a scale size like this, man, holy smokes. If you're not careful, you could really hurt somebody bad. I mean, you end up hurting yourself, because I don't know how many times like an RC driver will literally hit themselves with their own vehicle. My wife did it. She actually did it yesterday when she took out her Max. She hit herself. I hit myself. It's insane. This thing almost took me out in the head. It's placement. Obviously, the biggest thing is filming. You're trying to like film stuff. I will keep you updated. I'm actually going to do I'm going to end up doing a review on the Ovonic battery. But like I said, once we get that little steering knuckle kind of link piece in for this hub, we'll blast those batteries. They're actually still in the truck. They're still in the truck right now, right? Yeah, they're still in the truck right now. I like the size of them. I feel that you know what? It's funny that I'm talking about that right now. See, now you've got me thinking, because I think initially when I ordered those Ovonics, the thought was to also see if I could get them to go into the DB Pro. And I actually never ended up checking to see if I could get them to fit. So I'm gonna check it right now. It's funny how, like, just talking to somebody else or somebody asking a question will kind of like make you realize, hey, maybe you should check something else. So, actually, I gotta take the battery out of here. But hey, thanks for asking about those Ovonic batteries. I probably never would have checked until it was too late. Wow, I even left them plugged in. Oh, I just did such bad things. Don't leave your batteries plugged in, by the way. Not that there should have been any drain, but you never know. This thing was hitting so hard yesterday that it literally, I kept on popping the connectors off. Oh, yeah, stuck in there. Don't leave your lipos plugged in. It's bad. But I had to end up duct taping the, that's one of the things I don't like about Deans. They do have a tendency to loosen up, in my opinion. See, right there. That's part of the issue right there that I have with Deans. But let's get this other battery out of here. I hope the Ovonics turn out to be a hit. That would be nice. But I'll tell you right now, HRB is definitely a battery that I pull for. I think it's a good company. It's HRB USA. I'm sure they're sourcing, obviously, their stuff overseas or whatever, but they have an awesome warranty. It's almost like dealing with them and warranty. If you ever have an issue, is almost like dealing with power stop brakes for your car or truck. Power stop brakes has literally the industry leading, I guess you want to say, guarantee on their products. But let's pop one of these out and just see if it even fits in the DB Pro. Because that's one thing about the DB Pro is that it's a proprietary system, you know, just like most nowadays, except for this thing. You can throw in whatever you want on this thing, I guess. So let's see if this battery even fits in here. I should probably check and see. Is anybody paying attention? I don't know what that. What's that name? Lady Tuist? I don't know how to say that. Lee. I just call you Lee. Have you thought about switching the motor out to a lower kV to get more runtime? To give the truck more power so it won't drain? No. Right now, I am very happy with what this truck does. You're talking about the Hyper, right? I'm assuming. I believe that's what you're talking about. Well, if that's what you're talking about, no, I don't have any intention of changing anything out yet. Eventually, I may actually go, you know, with maybe a new ESC, because one of the things that I don't like about it is it's odd reverse. It's I don't know. It seems touchy. So maybe I should just check it on a programmer. But anyways, no, I'm happy with its power. One of the biggest things for me right now is taming down that front diff. So I'm going to be throwing some, like I joked on the video, I'm going to throw some mortar in it, in that front diff, just to kind of, you know, thicken it up and get it to stop, you know, doing pizza cutters every 5 seconds. Transfer more of that power to the rear, you know. All right, see you later, Anna. Thank you for coming by. I have the same truck. That's why I asked. Yes, the Hyper. Yeah. No, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm obviously I answer something, then you type something, so most of what I'm saying is probably redundant. But as of right now, I'm totally thrilled. That Hobao Mountain thing that I call it, this thing, I mean, you got to figure too, you got to be careful, because you start pushing a vehicle beyond its, you know, supposed factory spec, and you know you're going to break stuff. So even the amount of times that I've had this thing off camera, you know, learning it so that when I try to do a video, you're getting, you know, some of the, you know, better control or better shots, you know, on it. And a lot of my videos are raw too, but no, I'm happy with how it is, you know. You put a max 6. How's that working out? Are you breaking stuff? How long have you had yours, your MT2? Oh, I'm thinking this is going to fit. Oh, yes. All right, so look at that. That's perfect. So the Ovonic 8K actually will fit in the DB. I think I got it the other way. I think if I go this way, it seemed to fit differently. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be nice. So the Ovonic actually fits in the DB Pro. So that's a win. Oh, you got the 80% roller? That's cool. Awesome. But no, I'm happy with its current power. It's just its speed control. Every once in a while. I mean, I think it's only happened twice. Reverse, for some reason, was acting really sketchy. And then another time, when I took it over to that other place where I did another video on this thing, the what do I call that place? Can't remember what I call it. But I put the remote down on the ground and walked away, and the truck started just stuttering forward. It was weird. I shut it off, unplugged it, you know, just tried to do the normal things that you do to try and reset stuff, and nothing changed. And then all of a sudden, when I put a different set of batteries in it, it was fine. Did you see my video where I put this in a first generation brushed e-Revo? Holy crap. I love that motor, by the way. 427, just because of that. I call it a 427. 427 big block. Just sounds good, you know? Yeah, these Ovonics, so far, I don't know, the first time I ran them, I was thinking I made a mistake, but after that second time running it with that, oh, you watch all my videos. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying, you know what I mean? Just having fun, man. This stuff, been into RC stuff, like, as far as I can remember when I was a kid. It's great too because if you're into RC stuff when you're a kid, what are you going to spend your money on? You're going to spend it on this, not drugs and alcohol, you know? Well, I mean, maybe you'll do both. Who knows? I try to like figure out. So we have Solephany, right? Solephany. I think that is that like is that a game or something? So I've noticed that there are a lot of people that um, have names that are based upon like games and stuff. Like the Lee 82ist. Am I saying that right? Right now, I actually have 100K in my center. If you're asking me, I've got 100K in my center, and I'm going to be putting either 750. I'm having a hard time finding 750, but I've got 1 million coming, and I'm just going to try it just to see what happens, to see if it'll tame it down for what I want. I know 1 million is going to be like putting mortar in the front, but I still want to try it anyway. What's it going to do? You know what I mean? Why would you go less for the front? Soul is fine. What? Soul is fine, Effany. It's my your gamer. See, it's your gamer tag. That's crazy. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt. You know what I mean? I actually thought about this is gonna be weird. I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you something. What I was actually going to do. So this is an automotive grease gun that I've got, and I usually put red. You can't see it, but there's a red lube that you use, and it is so damn sticky that I was actually thinking about loading up the front diff just to try it. Like I said, what is it going to hurt? If I break stuff or whatever, you just replace stuff, but it's not going to break. But they call it like sticky lube. It's really just I guess you call it tacky. It is so damn tacky that I bet this stuff right here would tame down that front end. Only asking between the 60 and 100 because 60. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if you got to change your fluid, just change it out. Obviously, having fresh fluid in there is better than having old, tired stuff. But then again, if you're grinding up your gears a little bit or wearing them out, obviously the particles are in there. Well, that's why I said this stuff right here. I got this stuff on hand. I use this for my plow. I figured, you know, if it works for my plow, it should work for this thing. I should put a plow on this thing. That's what I should do. I should 3D print a V-blade plow for the Hyper. Does anybody else have like a whole bucket of adapters? Because you got so many different kind of batteries and every car takes a different damn connector. Well, not every car, but if you have a lot of RC cars, you obviously, normally, unless you're ripping off original connectors, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, does anybody have a whole bucket of connectors? Yes. So it's funny that you asked that. What I ended up doing was, I can actually show you a piece. I did it on video. This is pipe foam insulation, and I have these long razor blades just so I can, you know, cut stuff like that. These are those break-off blades. But I took a razor blade and I sliced off, you know what I mean? You can do it with anything, but you slice off a thin enough piece to fit in between the motor plate, which is obviously aluminum, and then that plastic surround, whatever you want to call it. I guess you want to call it the center diff case. It's weird how that, you know, obviously that's designed like that, but and I sandwiched it in between, and the wife actually drove the Max yesterday, and because she's a new driver, I want to say she abused it, because the amount of, she still hasn't got the air control yet. So, you know, every time it landed, it was either, you know, actually a couple of times she did land on the wheels, but most of the time when she landed, it was that, you know, you could just hear the chassis flexing, kind of, you know, those kind of hits, like full throttle, because she loved, how do I say this? She loved how high, it's making my eyes water. It made me so happy. She loved how high the Max got, like jump wise, but she wasn't getting that. You try to position yourself, you know, so you can see both the oncoming and, you know, the landing. But she was just full on positioning herself like right in front of the jump and then just gunning it. And the Max obviously would take flight to where you're gonna call the radio tower. Like this thing, dude, you gotta call into the airport when this thing takes a jump. But anyways, so it'll be interesting to know, because she did a lot. Obviously, that's a total sand area. So she did a lot of sand stuff, and it'll only take a very minimal amount of time to obviously, you know, take stuff apart, to take that little, you know, or the two inspection covers off and check things out. So I think what I'll end up doing is later today, cracking that open and seeing if any sand, because it was completely clean, seeing if any sand bypassed that that idea that, you know, I came up with, just to see if it would work. Normally on a situation like that, I would use like a bicycle tube, because you can just cut, you know, rubber strips or whatever you need, and then kind of glue things in place, or whatever. But yeah, see, I ramble too much. That's what my wife says. She said I ramble too much. What's that name? Werner Slime uses 6500, but his use case is flying off ramps and doing tricks. Yeah. So now it's time to get a drone with a monitor so the wife can see her. Well, that's how I got some of those killer shots of the Hobao. For that video that I did at that same place for Hobao Mountain. I had the drone out for this, and the footage that drone can get, like, I had 3 cameras going at the same time, and it's a nightmare trying to piece things together, obviously, because it's, all that editing stuff, but the footage of watching that thing, like, just launch in the air, holy smokes. But it's, I mean, it's one of those learned things. I mean, when you first started doing RC, probably you didn't know that, you could, air control the vehicle right away. Eventually she'll learn it. That Max is her first RC, and this is her first time ever driving an RC. Well, no, she did use that little guy right there, the HBX. And I did have her mess around with the UDR because I knew she wasn't going to hurt the UDR. I mean, it would take a lot to hurt it. So I knew right away that the Max would be like, that perfect vehicle, because if she hits a tree, which she hasn't hit a tree yet, but if she hits a tree or she hits a rock, or it's less apt to snap than another RC car. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ramble. More ramble. Yeah, it totally is awesome that I mean, think about it. I'm not saying anything about, females or girls, but usually a girl has, I guess you want to say, more poor circulation in the hands and feet. So one of the things about being out yesterday, which I kind of knew, I invited her. I said, "Hon, I'm going to go to the spot. Do you want to go?" And she was like, she had some stuff to do, and I didn't really expect her to come down. And after I had, climbed up that mountain and retrieved Old Faithful over here, when I came around the corner, I was just looking down at the truck as I'm driving, talking, rambling, monologuing, whatever you want to call it. And then when I looked up, she was like standing next to my truck, and I was just like, whoa. I'm like, oh, she's here to drive. And I felt bad for her because there was actually at one point, she just had the trigger hand out and the steering hand was in her pocket because she was just running straight lines, and she just wanted to, I don't know, she wanted to drive, and it was cool. So obviously now she'll know to dress a little bit warm, maybe get her some, like, get her some RC driving gloves. Get her some heated gloves. That's an idea. Could get her some heated gloves. Yeah, that'll work. Heated gloves. What's going on, JCR? Oh, wait a minute. I have a question for Solephany, right? Or Soul? How do you run your battery trays on your MT? Just curious. Because I have no idea. I've obviously, because I do the MT videos now, in my feed, I guess that's the way it works. Now, obviously, I see other MT videos, and I've seen people running their batteries the opposite way that I do it, and I don't understand why. So how do you do yours? Oh, that was Lee? Do you guys have like the same? Oh, no. Lee must be gone then. Sit in the heated CRV? Yeah, but then she can't see. Just call you Soul or Jane. Is that Jamie? Couldn't see if it was Jamie or Janie. You don't have an MT? Okay. Sorry about that. Where'd you go, Lee? Must have taken off. All right, so Revolution X. So you obviously have an MT. So you're running your. So are you running your batteries facing out? And then you're taking a strap and strapping like what, a center one to the chassis? I run my batteries with the wires front to stop impact issues. Yes, I visited them in Taiwan. Depends on your battery size. I run them facing. Good, because that's literally, as far as battery size, in my point blank, I mean, it just, when you look at stuff, right? Why would you run your battery pack that way? If you've got, well, maybe you got a hard case LiPo. I primarily run the soft case LiPos because I feel like you're getting more out of the battery than you do with the hard cases. But anyways, man, if you get an impact this way, like a friend of yours or whatever, like a friend of yours slams into the side of your truck, and he just happens to hit right into the battery and you get a LiPo fire. When you're this way, you can also fit a bigger battery and it's more protected. I don't understand why people are running it this way. To me, it doesn't make sense, but to each his own. However you want to run your battery is how you want to do it. I don't know. Just seems like this way is just better. You have hard case? Yeah. This is actually what I ran. I just ran these. My first try with this battery, I put it in the max and it died. Like I was so shocked that I overlooked the low voltage detection on the ESC. I saw the light, but it just didn't comprehend to me. I was so like, why did this 8K battery die that fast? But after I cycled it a couple of times and I ran it in that thing, yeah. So far, these are good batteries. And is the bonus? The bonus to this, it fits in my DB Pro. I just figured that out today. So now, the only thing I don't like, obviously, like a lot of people, I don't like the Deans. But for some reason, Deans was the only thing that I saw it coming. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. I don't know. Just faster to remove. Yeah, I guess I understand that. You resoldered your battery to an extra. Yeah. What was yours? Was yours a yours a? Does anybody call those Deans anymore? I see everybody just calling them T-plugs. They used to be called Deans. As a matter of fact, I got a whole ton of XT60s. I've got XT90s coming. Where is that? I don't know where it is now. There is a certain amount of organization I do not have. Come on. I don't know. I've got a wicked old Deans in a bag, still in a bag. Even these, I just pulled these out. These are from my hobby shop from when I was like in my, I want to say my younger 20s. I bought all this stuff. And right now, obviously, what can you use this for? You can use it for a ton of things. It's obviously an extender wire, but you can use it for your program cards. Dina's. Oh, so you do call them Deans then? I guess it depends upon the person. I think most people, at least I think most people nowadays, are just calling them T-plugs. All right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I have got to blow apart my I gotta blow this thing apart. Oh, wait a minute. Let's be more organized. There's still rocks falling out of this thing. It's funny too, right? When I did the light kit, I robbed the lights. The lights that are on this, I robbed them off of my Red Cat, the MT8. What the heck? I keep forgetting what that thing is called. Oh, TRMT8. So I robbed that light kit off of the TRMT8. And initially, I was going to finish off this light to look like this one so that it looked, symmetrical and it looked nice. And this light ended up coming unsoldered. And I resoldered it, and then it was fine, and it came unsoldered again. And after it came unsoldered, I left it like this because it just has that beat on look now. Like it's got a bashed out light, you know what I mean? The light's broken kind of thing. It just, it just has a look now to where I just think it ups its coolness factor, It's just beat. It's the Mega Ram Runner. Like even throwing, stickers on, a vehicle, it wasn't, a big thing to do, but when you look at how the stickers are on this thing, I'll represent Diesel Power, Dave Sparks, I mean, he's got a great company. He's got a good thing going on, his Diesel Power Gear thing. But when you see that Mega Ram Runner in the back, that sticker absolutely fits beautiful. I mean, look at that. Diesel Power right there through the back windshield. It just, everything on here just came out nice. The little Hobao sticker on the frame there, little Fox, little tiny stickers, and then the Red Bull stickers fit perfect. Just, customize it, make it your own kind of deal. But what I've got to do is I got to figure out what the heck is going on with this thing. I can't type. I use talk to text all the time because I can't type. So anyway, how am I going to do this? We're already creaking. Wait till you check this out. Just going to take this off just for a second. It's the new Hyper Mojave. That battery, that body, if I took that little center brace thing off, this body, stop being Velcroed. Once I took that center brace off, if I did the cutouts on here, I wonder if this body actually fits better wheel well size than the original body. It would actually probably have to sit up that high though, wouldn't it? The new Hyper Mojave. Oh, that thing would be an animal. I may have to look into getting a body like that. I took it, I threw it on top of it while it was on the ground. And I was like, wow, that body actually fits. Anyways, got a little bit of an issue with this bad boy right here. That is not normal. Oh, the fronts aren't doing that, that's for sure. Gotta see what's going on here. Monster slash on crack, yep. Sorry about all the camera moving. I'm trying to put this on a different tripod thing. that should work. We got a little bit of, what is it, this side? Got a little bit of extra shock movement here. Not liking that. It's also, there's zero dampening. This side we have dampening. The other side, nothing. So, and I didn't see any oil leaking out of here. So I'm wondering if I just never checked it. Maybe from the factory, there's no oil in it. And maybe it's really blown out now. I only ran this just at one time. So it could be, you know, one of those factory, I guess you want to say factory mess ups or something. I don't know. But we gotta pull this shock apart and see what's going on. I'm gonna take the wheel off. That's what's nice too about the Hyper. Gives you a nice tool that you can use elsewhere. We also are going to run, we are going to end up running this thing on these Hoons too. I just had to try it. Looks weird right now, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's what I got it for. So there's no leakage. I wonder if maybe the shock just came apart from the shaft. It's kind of almost what it feels like. Look at what kind of play we've got in there. That's a lot of play. Let's just pull this apart. You can see that the it's actually pinned. Kind of like you call it set screwed, I guess. It's got an extra little screw on there to keep that pin from coming out. Or that's actually how it goes in, right? Is that? I can't see. It's the first time taking this thing apart, so let's see what's going on. I figured this would be good for a live. You know, people are going to see, I guess, what I'm seeing for the first time, seeing what the heck is going on with this thing. Is that just a pin? Yeah, it is just a pin. Oh, look at that. I've obviously never had this apart before. Come on, get out. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at it came apart. So that's what happened. So that means we should have some oil leaking out now. Well, it looks like we're rebuilding a brand new shock. Look at that. I hope that's not stripped. Oh, that would be terrible. So there we go. Now we know why there was no suspension or compression or dampered compression on the rear of this Mojave. Actually use the camera to see whether if it's stripped or not. No, it looks good. I am literally using the live stream to look at the threads. That's actually kind of cool. It's like a doctor. Oh, I got 3 copyright strikes the other live stream that I did, or whatever it is. Not copyright, but because there was music playing in the background. So stupid. If anything, why would they care if there's music playing in the background? It's playing their damn music. If anything, it's making them even more popular. I don't get that. What is the point of some of that wine bagging? They literally are just trying to scrape whatever kind of money that they can get. It's like, yeah, it's my live stream. Yeah, it's your music playing in the background. Who gives a crap? You guys have enough money. Let's see, 2. So obviously you take that like set pin screw thing out of the shock attachment shaft. It's a 2 millimeter, and then I believe it's a 2.5 for the actual shock tower, and it is. So it's a 2.5 for the shock tower. Oh, get the oil dripping out now. That stinks. Gonna be rebuilding it anyway, but just don't want junk getting in there. We're gonna have to check the other one too then, if that's the case, because this one feels a little loose too. But what a bummer. Fresh out of the box. What is that, a lock nut? Yep. The other side's a nylock. I don't know what size nylock it is. There's no way it's a 7. And I doubt it's this. Oh, it is. So that nylock on the back side is a 5.5 for that nylock. So it's a 5.5 for the nylock and a 2.5 for the actual shock tower bolt. Oh, are you serious? So you do have to take it all the way out, don't you? Ah, come on. This is the stuff that drives me nuts. When you got to take other stuff off to get the other stuff. I think maybe we can just cheat it by taking this one screw out of the back of the body mount, lifting it up, and then sliding off the shock. Pieces flying all over the place. Yeah, that's funny, huh? Like a little protector. Whoa, what was that? The ball end just fell out of the shock? That's funny. Chris Rock, what's going on? I know your name is Chris Rock, but the artist gets paid per play. Yeah. It just pisses you off, man, because everything I usually or used to do or would do anytime I'm working on, you're working on your car, you're working on your truck, you're doing whatever. You got music playing in the background because you like the music. And my whole point is, yeah, so what if I want to have music playing in the background? You're literally going to strike me for it, or you're going to give me a warning? It's like, you've got to be kidding me. You guys are being so lame. It's one of the things that pissed me off about Metallica when they were wine bagging about their songs being used and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, Dude, you guys make so much money. What do you care? You're the creators of the song. Yeah, I get it, but Christ, come on. Are you serious? Oh, Chris, yeah, just keep in mind the YouTube whatever block thing. It'll block certain words. So when you said bull show, that actually, works out, you know what I mean? Enough warnings, they don't let you upload. YouTube jail. Yep. Yep. I think I knew that I was going to get something. But I guess I was testing it. But I still think it's BS. So we will be rebuilding this shock right here because it's leaking shock oil now all over my table. What a bummer. You joke around, right? People, you say ARRMA tough, for, I guess that's their slogan or whatever. I don't know if that's their slogan or it was given by, people that drive RCs. It's like literally most good RC manufacturers, just like cars, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. I mean, they're going to have issues, but whatever. I don't know if I want to salvage this oil or not because I have no idea what weight oil is in here. I suppose if I look in the manual, maybe it'll say, but I suppose it shouldn't even matter. Or I shouldn't care. It shouldn't matter. Bummer. Oh, it is what it is. So there we go. From the factory, somehow, people call them. It's the dampener. It's the dampener that was screwed onto the end here. Obviously came loose from factory. So, yeah. Means there's parts floating around in here. I need to 3D print a shock holder. So when you rebuild it, you got to wait for your shocks to be held for you. Instead of just putting them upside down in your tires. Like I usually do. Anna is back. Everything will need upgraded sooner or later. Yep. Back with a what? Kebab? Did you say a kebab? Like a piece of food kebab? That's what I do. And bleed the shocks. Yep. Food. Sorry for coughing in your ears here. I can't help it. Feeling a little under the weather or something's going on. I've had a cough for a couple of days now. Oh. Oh man, I thought something else was broken for a second there. Oh, this is the Mojave. Oh, I just showed I think it was Revolution X, right? Yeah, Revolution X, the new Hobao Hyper Mojave build we got going on here. That body actually fits that truck mint. You just need to cut out the wheel wells more. Yeah, sadly, I'm working on the ARRMA Tough Mojave right now. Wasn't what I wanted to do, but it's first outing, and I discovered that the shock was, I thought, blown. I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. I was kind of semi-perplexed, but I never, it's not like, again, it's that whole thing. Just take it out of the box and drive it. Like the Red Cat, we got parts. We actually have parts coming for, so we got parts coming for the Red Cat. That thing, I'm totally shocked. I'm very surprised about that thing. That I kicked the crap out of that thing, and we broke 2 lame parts. We broke a link, but the link broke because the upper forelink broke. And the upper forelink broke, obviously from a bad landing. But we are squaring that away with upgraded links. And I'm doing uppers and lowers. Didn't recognize what? I didn't recognize I only have electric crawlers. What do you mean, electric crawlers? That's all I have.
I don't know that.
I wasn't talking to you, Alexa. I don't know that.
Whatever you like.
Oh, stop it. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 43 degrees.
Isn't that nice?
You have a good Monday.
Is it supposed to rain tomorrow?
It might rain in Plymouth tomorrow. There's a 66% chance.
So, am I going to get a copyright because I'm asking Alexa questions and she's answering? Does that mean that Alexa's going to try and get YouTube money too? What do you mean the thing I'm working on? This right here? I did not recognize the chassis you're working on. All of my RCs are nitro and gas with the exception. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Sorry, it takes a little while for me to catch up with the text messages. Yeah, this is just an ARRMA Mojave, the 6S BLX. I literally took it out for its first run, and I noticed right away, I mean, it drives incredible. I will say that. So this thing actually drives, how do you say, like, it's got an oddity to it. It drives plush. This is going to sound so messed up. It drives plush at speed, but when you're doing jumps, it's like trying to jump a tank, if that makes any sense. That drives very similar to this, but that's obviously very tippy because it's got a solid rear axle, where this is independent. And where this is independent, I feel that this vehicle right here, the Mojave, is the bridge. If you're talking Traxxas, it's the bridge vehicle in between the Desert Racer and a Max. I'm not going to say X Max. It's the bridge between that and the Max, like an all out, kind of like bashing vehicle, but gives you that plushness going fast over, kind of, I guess, crazy terrain. This thing, from what I did, and I was only at 50% throttle. I wanted to get used to the thing before I, damaged it. And I'm glad I didn't, because I probably could have really damaged stuff at 75 or 100% throttle, with this shock obviously being, I guess blown from the factory or something. What the heck are you doing? Oh, look at that. He's stuck on the lipo wire. On the oh, now he's not. He was stuck on the balance lead. Yeah, I think we ended up getting sand in there. Can't see. Looks gritty. Can't tell. I hope we didn't get sand in there. Not that it matters, because if we're rebuilding it anyway. I'm thinking about buying my first electric kind of into the Losi Super Rock Ray. Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Losi, because obviously that DB Pro, oh my God. That thing, while it doesn't have the size of what you're talking about, the way this thing drove, I mean, it's a technical car, but it literally, again, like they surprise you. They just do. That thing drove like a dream. Jumps, everything. Just I started pushing that thing beyond, again, what it's designed for, and it was just absolutely beautiful. I'm holding out to see what Homon. Are you doing talk to text or something? Releases at the end of November. Yeah, the end of November, November 30th is my birthday. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe. Am I on camera? Maybe my wife could surprise me with like a new ARRMA. The brand new one coming out. You got to be using talk to text, right? Autocorrect, yeah. The hormone. The ARRMA. It's not armor anymore. It's the hormone. Yeah, I do talk to text all the time. It's just faster, but it also, you got to watch out what you say too, because it can really get you in trouble. Talk to text. My wife said, pick whatever RC you want for Christmas. Oh! That's quite the that's quite the present right there. Decisions, right? Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. heck is he doing? Gotta roll this thing into the shot. Oh, what are you doing? Get out of there. Gotta have this thing as a background. This thing is just so awesome. There you go. I see you. Leery of new release vehicles. I got smoked on the yeah. That on the Kraken, yeah, that sucks, man. I started to kind of like follow them a little bit, and then I backed off because I guess I was starting to maybe not see things that I particularly liked. I'm not gonna bash anybody. You still gotta do, you know, your R&D, and you gotta do all your research, and you gotta do your building and whatever. And I guess they do make good vehicles, but yeah, I mean, yeah, with all those money bags that you lost, right? Yeah, that stinks. We definitely got grit in that shack. That's no good. Ah, that stinks, man. Oh well. At least it could looks good sitting in the garage. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yep, we had grit in there. Wow. So there was definitely grit in that shock. I don't know if that's like grit from driving or if that was grit from or what's going on. But look at that. Here's your shock oil color. That's pretty nasty looking in there. All that was in this shock. And this never came apart. So this actually never came apart. Why is there so much garbage in this shock? Was it literally chewing the crap out of the damper? Ah, that's no good. Look at that. I should have put it in a more clear glass. But look at that. Look at all the pieces. That's literally pieces of damper. All right, see you later, Chris Rock. going to be really interesting to see if there's even a shock cap in there. Or whatever you want to call it, little damper cap. Yeah. Well, there's one piece. There's the other pieces. I'm using the camera and my screen because it allows me to see up close the condition of a part. So yes, it's an extreme close-up, but I'm doing it for a reason. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, actually, I can't show you. Why do I always say that? Show you what I'm talking about, but you can't. So it looks like, it almost looks like the shock shaft may focus. Focus. Come on, focus. There we go. Looks all right. I'm just going to clean it up. But that's what I'm not liking seeing. That's the fluid that came out of the... That's the fluid that came out of the shock. And it's not like that shaft ever came out of that shock either. So why does the fluid look that nasty with pieces all in it? I mean, look at that. Yeah, I'll run it down. Look at that. That's pretty nasty. going to be able to take that off. That ain't coming off, that's for sure. That is on there. That's not coming out. I think that needs some shims or something. Joseph, what's happening? Every once in a while, my eyes glance over at the thing. What are you up to? Oh, yeah, I'm not liking the Mojave being on the table though. The oh, check it out. Check out what we've got a crossbreed happening over here. Undo my wires. We got a crossbreed. It's the Mojave Hyper. Dude, this body would fit this truck. Just cut out the extra material that's right there on the wheel wells, clearance them for the tires, but that body fits that truck mint. I don't know if you could see that. I'm just guessing. I couldn't see. Hopefully you did. Yeah, we took it for a ride, and I honestly believe the shock on this side right here, this one right here blew out. The one on the left-hand side. Not blew out. Didn't lose any shock oil or anything, but pretty much the oil that's in there, the color that you see is what came out. Pretty much. There is added material in there, but this is the color of the shock oil that came out of there. I have been using it to clean and, prime the plastic pieces, but it was pretty nasty. No, I didn't break anything. It was literally from the factory. Well, you already know we've got these for a little bit of on-road use. So we're going to be throwing these hoons on there to see what this thing can do handling on the street. Man, I got to make that cough disappear. Well, no, because I've been cleaning parts, I usually do this like when I do my shocks. The WD-40 helps all your plastics, but it also helps clean stuff. So that's why it's so thin. I ended up, it's probably going to be weird. The oil that's in the right side is obviously thinner now. That's what's on the left side, because what's on the left side is right there. So we threw some 60 weight on the left. We'll see what happens. I should be able to tell the difference, I hope. But it definitely looked like it was thinner. It looked like what was on that right side may have been like a 50-ish, maybe a little bit thinner is what it looked like. That was just what my eyes were seeing, you know. But we got the, well, I didn't. I took the Max with me. So we had the MT out. We actually, can you see the tenacity in the background? Look, it's dirty and scratched now. Took the tenacity out for, I'm going to call it a beat run. I wasn't intending to, but I think things just, I realized how well the thing was handling and controlling itself, and I was blown away. So I let it have it, and it performed flawlessly. There's still so much more of this battery pack left too. I'm gonna just top it off right now. So this was the first run on the 6S Graphene 5000 100C battery. And so far I'm liking it. Granted, we didn't get too much out of it, but maybe it's more I'm liking this. Deadly truck. What, the Sentin or this? I'm assuming you mean the Sentin. This thing's pretty cool. I like it. I was I don't know. I keep saying I'm surprised, but I shouldn't be. Should not be surprised anymore at what these guys are pumping out. All the Mojave, yeah. Well, we're gonna find out. It'll be nice now that it'll handle probably a little bit better now that we've got a shock that's working. Look at the grip these tires have too. That is some factory grip right there. Focus. Focus. There you go. That is some good factory grip. Did you check out the video that I put out of the Hobao? I broke it. Well, not really. I mean, yeah, there is a broken piece, but it still drives. Yeah, it's the way this thing handles. Obviously, having that independent rear suspension definitely helps, like in cornering, big thing, and also bashing, because with the UDR and the solid rear axle, it has a tendency to roll sometimes when you get a bite when the rear end hooks up. But the other thing too about this, right? It's got a weird thing when it hits the jumps. It hits jumps, and it might be because of its size or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's plush when it's going all out. I mean, it's taking and soaking up everything you're giving it. But when you hit a jump, I don't know. Maybe it's the way the jump was. I was hitting the jump, but it looked like a tank trying to jump. It looks weird. Maybe because it has like that flat look or something. I don't know. Flat, wide look. It looks like a tank jumping. Yeah, same thing. I had the Mojave out there, but there's no video of it yet because I ran into the shock issue. I wanted to review the footage to see if it was something like, if I can catch it at all, because I did do a bunch of jumps with it. Nothing crazy. I was only at 50% throttle too. So that was purposeful because I wasn't in the mood to destroy it. You got to learn, or at least for me, this is how it works. I'm going to go out and I'm going to learn how a vehicle, if it's got a setting where I can limit the throttle right on the controller, I'm just going to limit it just to see what it feels like. And I took a bunch of jumps with it, did a couple of, 50% speed runs, if that makes any sense to you. And I started noticing right away it was just acting funny. So I pulled it in and realized that the left rear shock I thought was blown, but there was no oil. So I was like totally confused. I had a feeling that, maybe that the damper inside separated, but it just wasn't making sense. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, the UDR, you have to know how to drive it. Again, the UDR, it's a technical driving truck. I mean, you got to drive it how it's designed. This one is more forgiving. And I'm telling you, the tenacity, I was not going to bash that. Totally wasn't going to bash it the way I did. I was kind of almost treating it like a little bit of a shelf clean. But it's no shelf clean. Man, all I can say is wow. I mean, yeah. Joseph, you saw the E-Revo Reborn, right? The only thing I got to do with that now is clean up the wheels and re-tire glue them. See, I'm going to see if I can break them down all the way, the ones that let loose. But yeah, I figure the tire glue is old and whatever, but holy crap, that thing took the terrain. It went right up Hobao Mountain. No problem. On 4S. Oh, you've got a UDR? Yeah. The UDR is insane when you just want to open it up on just like what like what you said, a flat terrain. Not even flat terrain. I mean, you can throw ruts in it and it's scale though. That's the thing. It's scale. All right, well, I'm going to end this live. I'm peeking out that battery for the Mojave. I should actually charge the other one too. I want to take the UDR out though. That thing has not seen anything, but it'd be nice to have another driver driving the UDR. It's kind of hard to, you got two hands, but you can't drive, two cars with two hands. Yeah. Yeah. The E-Revo ended up getting the 427. That right there, that's what went in the E-Revo. 427 big block. Max 8. It's awesome. The Revo lives. All right, like I said, I'm just going to end this live, charge up that battery, and take the Mojave out. And because the DB Pro did so well, I just got to take that out too. Should I take the Max? The wife drove the Max yesterday. I've got footage of that too. All right, I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you to anybody that came. Says there's still 3 people here. We got Joseph. I think Chris Rocks is gone, but there's like 2 or 3 other people. So anyways, I'm going to end the live stream like I usually do. You're kind of iffy on that motor. I'm not. It's the motor and ESC that's actually in the Red Cat TRMT8. So, all right, I'm going to end that live stream in 3, 2, 1. See ya.